I'd learned how to read.
I'm here in game 2.
I mean, different. Definitely different. Fast-paced, but yeah, intriguing because it is a Slardar mid.
It is. It's Chessy Slardar. Chessy Slardar coming out in the mid lane. It does, of course, know that the matchup is almost guaranteed to be Supreme as this Void Spirit, so you are against this melee hero. You're pretty tanky, I suppose, so you don't mind sort of the harass that's going to come out from the Void Spirit in the lane. I mean, what other reasons could you sort of think of that has made this seem like the best approach from NiP, putting Chessy mid on the Slardar this game? From 5-man, sorry.
He is like that big, I mean, the BKB piercing disable and all that too, right? He gets that like hard damage. He wants good levels too, and I guess they just really want him to get a good chunk of farm. I mean, if he can check runes and all that good matchup, I'm wondering how this matchup is because you can't wave clear really, and
30 seconds.
Void Spirit can just wave clear. You just don't go for so many trade hits as Void. You play around your spells always. True. Just watch for that 4th hit. So I don't feel like Supreme should get bullied that hard. Yeah. I think like the biggest reason was just like giving him like the big level so he can just make early rotations around and set up to help out the lanes. Not really sure what else it would be.
Hi. It's going to be fine. 3 of them able to just push back Ace and Pi away from the rim. Pi's just going to try and step forward again. Maybe still so he can get it. Pi like that, he's going to almost certainly die for this one though, as he steps back and doesn't get the chance to get the rune. Is still alive for now. I mean, I guess Pi did the maths. He's actually able to walk away. Doesn't actually get punished for that, as Pi will live. But unable to get the rune there away from NiP, as NiP will grab that one from the river.
Okay, unbelievably close. It's actually, okay, be careful, Pi. Okay, yeah, he's good. Got the boots, be able to run back. So it looks like, they're starting flexing themselves as that try. And did they get themselves a beneficial rune? Just 2 for 2, so. All right, and I guess the other thing that I'm wondering if they wanted to have double range top is the other reason that I was thinking about for the Slardar mid. Rather than having Slardar versus a Witch Doctor, where Witch Doctor is one of those king heroes at lane. Even though Slardar is good versus most melee heroes, the Witch Doctor changes things. Maybe they just wanted to have double range to shut down Lifestealer. They did really well in their lanes last game, so I can trust their decision making on them for sure.
Yeah, I mean, they did really well. They came up to like a 5 to, I think maybe even the 7k lead early on after the lane.
Okay, flipped even too.
Yeah, with things, so it started working out against them in that sense. Down bottom, Pi trying to do his best to force back Era and Saberlight. I mean, in terms of these lanes, who's got to be the most careful? Who do you sort of see being the easy target for the enemy?
Saberlight is probably dead here, honestly. I was about to say, Saberlight has to be very careful how he walks up versus this lane. Yeah, he's dead.
First, I mean, early game Drow in the lane with these frost arrows, it's a decent amount of damage and very easy to get the harass out with the reach of the multi-shot. And combo with Pi, once you start to lose that strength, these hits from the Drow are going to hurt. And Ace is always going to have the chance to get them in on you, especially when you're a melee hero like the Beastmaster.
Yeah, I mean, this is just a really strong lane. Undying Drow, we've seen like the Undying Drows and the Avenged Drow for the most part, but I feel like this Undying, whenever, I feel like you can't do anything if you have a strength off laner for the most part. And they have 2 strength heroes, the Phoenix also being that strength, so they get hit by decays, it hurts that much more. So Ace, he should be off to a very solid start. Chessy, he's doing pretty good in these first few levels for sure. Will get better for Supreme as the levels do build in, but yeah, all 3 lanes look solid for them right now. Saberlight's getting like little to nothing down here.
Yeah,
it's
so
like
hard
losing his cores too. Now with the levels built up, they kill the boar so easily. Like a soul rip 2 or 3 hits from Drow and that boar is dead. A lot more experience going their way too.
Yeah, they're gonna just sort of have to hold tight on that bottom lane until at least Supreme hits the 6 and is ready to make a move. And obviously the Void Spirit able to really punish the Drow with the ability of getting in on top of Ace once he gets the 6 and out of the Astral Step. Mid lane, Supreme and Chessy fighting each other down to very low HPs. Bottle's already out on Supreme. Chessy was coming out himself. He's just getting himself some regen, salving him and go all the way. Chessy will be able to continue to hold his ground here in this mid lane. Continue to hold. I guess there's a wave coming in, so very close at the moment between the 2 mid laners.
Okay. They're actually able to find Pi playing a little bit too far aggressive forward there to secure ace, but job isn't undying, right? You die, whatever. You kind of want to die in a lot of these situations. You have no mana. Yeah, like these situations as an undying, it's actually good to die, I feel like. Sure, you give like a little bit of experience, but you're full reset and you get to bring the items from the drought.
As soon as he's back in to the lane, straight onto the two of them. Just got to be a little careful though, with the low HP that he does have.
Sable's trying to pull the waves now, trying to get as much as he can. I'm just going to chase him.
And we'll have that ball to try and slow down Pi's advances.
This one was all.
Sableye actually up into turn. Pi got a punch in on him. Sableye coming back again. He's got the stick charge. Pi. This is going to be a lot of damage. He's dead. He is absolutely dead. This Soul Rip should do it. Oh, no, he's absolutely not. But one more kill. He's got it in 5 seconds.
He gets more experience.
He's running. They're trying to block him off. He can get the decay. He can get this kill. No, he's not going to be able to. Okay, Sableye, he'll live. He's still trying. He's still trying for that decay, but Sableye's out of range now. But that was close. I mean, Sableye, he was really pushing it there. He was really pushing it.
He still has to be careful. There's going to be a Soul Rip in a second. Sableye, Pi's getting blocked by creeps a little bit.
He lives for this Soul Rip.
Not a decay Soul Rip, though.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
He missed.
Yeah, Sableye sounded. They could try and kill for Pi here, but the Soul Rip heal, pretty sized. But Eric's got a few spirits left to go, though. I think Pi, he should die. He's going to try for a deny to the Ancients. Let's see if he's able to do so. And he is. Goes down to the Ancients. Jesse will roam over. Bashes out Era. Able to get that kill at the perfect time as well. 5 minutes kick in. The bounce screen is there for Jesse to grab. So good move from Jesse.
During the entirety, Ace is just farming at his tower, because sure, they pulled one of the creep waves, but Pi actually messed with it so badly that Ace is almost level, getting close to 6 now down bottom. That's pretty huge there. Pi definitely doing work. Even though he dies, it's all
he is. There's the classic Pi die, and on a classic Pi die hero. As you say, just doing it perfectly. Ace, he's over the moon right now. This is an incredibly happy draft. 32 and 15 here in the first 5 minutes on the safe lane.
Radiant's bottom
mid lane. Should be able to burst him. Supreme still with the Astral Step, good to go. Take down the Slardar. So this mid lane, we're seeing the creep score remain even, but
is under attack.
I do just feel that Supreme as a Void Spirit, you know, this more traditional mid hero, he's going to be able to do a lot more with a lot less to what Jesse needs to farm up to actually have impact himself. This Void Spirit is going to be all over the place.
Yeah, and he's a bottle hero. You know, Slardar, he's actually had to spend a lot of money on regen, and just like it's always going to be like that throughout the majority of the game. While Supreme's going to be able to fill up and just make moves around. So sure, Chessie, you see, he was like even in last hit, but the gold actually showed differently. He was like 200 or 300 behind the Void Spirit even before he died. Bottom Pi.
Finishing this time. He's getting aggressive. He's got Ace backing him up. The balls are slowing down. Pi. Force should finish him. Oh, he's got the salve. He's able to get out of range just in time, pop the salve. A dive comes in from Era. Pi's got a decay, able to get it out. He's still ticking down though to the spirits as Pi will fall yet again. Ace might be able to clean up the skill on Era with that, but Chessie comes in, gives the vision, even takes to kill himself with the bash there. As Chessie able to make another move, a second time now where he's headed down here and has been able to sort of swing the trades in favor of the side, especially against Sableye as he sticks around on about 100 HP. Chessie just comes in, drops the ult, and Sableye goes down in a flurry of arrows from Ace's drought.
Oh, he did. Okay, I was literally waiting to compliment him too, because he actually blocked the initial multi-shot earlier with a boar and saved himself with one hit. And in that one, he stays around. When you see the, the bait glyph, when you see those situations happen, you're trying to kill 2 creeps low and they glyph, they're trying to set up a kill on you. Usually in those situations, he falls for it.
You're not going anywhere.
Saberlight, I was about to hype you up for blocking that multi-shot too, and then you die like that.
Top solid rotation here from Supreme, comes in with a combo onto Misery.
Your fate lies.
Burst him underneath the tower.
Touch mine.
Supreme ready to get mobile. Chessie's going to head over, and Supreme not going to be too worried about this. Jumps over into
Chessie.
Still got to dissimulate, so he can get away.
He's still got his bash prepped up, so he'll hurt Supreme a little bit.
Got Step in a second, and the Remnant, and even Era coming in from the side. They swoop in, start to slow Chessie down, running him with the arrow. Supreme's got to be careful. There's a lot of physical. The shackles there. As they will still opt to run. I just sort of wonder if Chessie could done. I mean, I guess he didn't have the bash built up, so wouldn't have had the physical damage to kill off Supreme. even with
Dyer's
the
middle
corrosive
tower
phase on
is
it.
under attack.
Paladin step
look at
forward,
Pi.
Supreme. He still wants to fight. He's going to stand straight back over onto Pi. Pi will heal himself with the soul with the shackle. Will not latch. Supreme still dancing around with very little left to offer as he's out of mana. Will live as he gets himself away. See the side of 5 men start to put the pressure onto this tier 1 tower mid. Additional support coming in as Misha also around to try and hold off and keep this tower alive for now.
Yeah, an interesting approach from 5 men to force reaction onto mid. They bring 3-4 heroes around, or 3 heroes around the area because they know their 2 side laners are actually very fine to be left alone. Like Ace Drow, usually not the one that's fine to be left alone, but because of how good of a game he's had, they force all these reactions mid, and then Drow free farms, Weaver free farms, and you're forcing pressure. I like that quite a bit there. Even though it seems weird, like Pi just walks up and drops a tombstone, it actually forces quite a bit of reaction from it.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And then Charlie's in a disadvantageous position because it's a lifestealer versus a Weaver top, so he's already been pressured too. So yeah, big move there from 5 men.
Yeah, of course, we did see Charlie have a very good game at the end of the day in game 1. This time around, things are going to be a little different. No Empower to help him get that insane amount of boost to his farm that he did find in the first game. So definitely a bit more of a challenge here for Charlie.
And he has a lot more.
Build.
Yeah, he has a lot more he has to deal with this time, right? Like Lifestealer last game, you only have to worry about like a charge to break the rage. Now there's just so much damage, so many different things that are going to be messing with him. Gust, Amplify, Corrosive, etc.
See the chase onto Supreme here. Supreme is able to find Pi in the river. That shackle. I don't know how it latched, but it did. It did. Now getting the kill.
I didn't see that
done
tree.
there from Misery. Yeah, sort of caught from an angle. I mean, I guess it just looks a little bit weird because of the height as well. Was a low ground tree from the high ground. But yeah, I guess the angle. Misery finds that setup and Supreme's off the map.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Nice play there. In the meanwhile, we do see Saberlight takes advantage of that. Will be able to creep himself back
has fallen.
into this game, gets his book, 1 finish and a tower.
Dyer's
Look at how much
top tower
smoke up.
has fallen.
Yeah, not level 6 on these 2 yet, but trying to make a move onto mid. Catapult
They
wave.
can somehow get a kill. Should get the 6 at least for Era. To jump straight in onto Pi under the tower. What have they got to help him out? Misery has got a lovely shackle on the 2 of them. He's going to try and run down Misha with the focus 5, and Misha's able to sneak him out in the trees. Chessie and Zibe do come crawling across though, clean up the Witch Doctor. The dive past the tower for the support kill, but they get it support in trade 5 men. NiP still hanging around, see if they can find more. Supreme outside with it to simulate. Zibe and Chessie seeing if they can maybe run him down over towards the river. Chessie just laying out the corrosive hazes, but Charlie will reveal himself. I know there's a lot around here now. 5 men, so we'll be a little more cautious. Not going to try and chase on any further.
They don't have the easiest ways to actually get like set up besides the roar. They have a cask and then the Aether Remnant. And Sidwick did not have mana there, so they can't actually just force the issue. And diving under that tower there, Drow's TP was coming back up soon, so NiP had to be a little careful. Now though, Clarity's running, Saberlight has mana, trying to get a catch.
Mid lane. An easy catch is straight onto Chessie with the roar. More than enough damage to burn through him. Era coming in with that sunray, of course. Making all the difference. They're going to try and fight back here with the presence of Ace. Comes in from the side with a multi-shot, gets the dust out onto Supreme. Supreme, he can't jump out. Nice movement from Ace to join up towards the mid. Phoenix Egg did come out from Era just in case Supreme was able to jump to the high ground and to offer that extra bit of safety and coverage, but ends up not really achieving much at all with Supreme already dying due to that nice little rotation from Ace. You know, he may be hitting the creeps like a good old carry, but not one to stray away from a team fight that gets presented on his doorstep.
Yeah, he's already level 11. Yasha, Dragonlance, I mean, he's real set up for success here for this game right now. Not the best ways to collapse onto him either, unless they do, you know, Void Spirit and Fest Bomb onto him. That's probably one of the better ones.
And in a game as well, where I imagine Zibe is this offlane. We'll be too surprised if we do see an Aghanims come out.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's just the perfect answer, right? When you have a vulnerable hero like the Drow Ranger against these sort of single target lockdowns like the Raw.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more.
Well, here they go. Towards the mid. Slardar is the one to be found, but the Remnant won't quite grab him. Actually able to pop the ult and turn. Supreme in the river. Another jump away from the crush. This time Pi won't fall. They tried to see what they could find around this tower, but Pi had the back up. this call on the low ground as Misha just drops the death ball will finally result in a death of Highlight Die. Chess is going to try and chase it for more. The silence to get everyone on the Phoenix. Aaron doesn't get a chance to jump out with the dive, but the silence catches him. They're past the towers. They're looking for Supreme. He's got no other spells ready to go. He's dead. Quick moves, and again, we're starting to just see this incredibly well-leveled, well-farmed Drow just turn up, offer his piece in these fights. Now, Ace is going to hit the 12. With this Drow,
has fallen.
I mean, not just the combo with the Drow Slardar, but I guess the bugs from Zibe as well. It's just the perfect combination to take this Roshan down at the speed that NiP, they're not even going to have Supreme back in the game by the time it falls.
Yeah, no way they can contest this.
Yeah.
Bugs, like you said,
Radiant's
corrosive, even a medallion thrown on top.
attack.
This is a lot of minus armor coming up in this draft here. That the heroes of NiP are going to look extremely fragile. We did say that, right? Like the Lifestealer, he's the only one that's going to be a little tanky versus it, but it's very scary. Chessie, like we said, they give him mid, so he's going to have a very early 12. Ace already has 12 too, so this damage it's going to be no joke. Everyone's going to get shredded on the side of NiP. They have to have a little bit better chances of getting these jumps off, but it definitely is looking to be a little harder than last game. Because the last one they did have just easier type of like just these team fights, right? Your RP, your goal. This game, it's much more difficult to set them up.
Yeah, we saw last game as well. Just having that in power really for the lifesteal makes all the difference. It means that suddenly, you might be 5k down. You only have to sort of make sure you win one team fight to just buy the time to get the space to really boost your farm on your quick carry. This time around, they're going to have to make a lot of plays to turn this one round. NiP's bottom lane. Yeah,
Saberlight's found
too. What? Oh, give him more easy gold.
Good cash. And he used Roar too, so when he respawns, no Roar for a minute. So they can't actually make an aggressive move. This is a little rough for NiP. They got to bring stuff together here, but it was similar like last game. They did have rough, but like you said, they had a Magnus last time. It really helped so much to keep Charlie in the game.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Charlie just massively having his work cut out this game. It's just somehow got to find a way to catch up to the power that Ace is hitting. Ace that guy. As we saw just that free lane gap from the start with the way that Pi was able to play as the Undying, it just made this look like a very, very solid Drow game for the rest of it. They've got to somehow do something about this Drow. Any of these fights where they don't get on top and Ace is able to turn, it doesn't matter who you are. Even if you're this Lifestealer, Ace will he'll tear you apart. You get caught in a gust, you've got nothing against this Drow.
Yeah, and they were making sure to give Chessie the farm right there. He's actually got the blink done, and they gave him the experience too, so he's about to be level 12, like we're talking about. Big wings are coming in, and they're going to look so fragile. Supream is infested right now. They're looking for Pi. They're going to miss.
Hey, this is the jump they need. He's going to put the map to try and step out to the side. Misery, can he help out Ace? He cannot. Ace, okay. What? Ace didn't die? How did he not die? He didn't die. They couldn't hit. They needed one more hit. They didn't get it. Ace is able to live. Oh my goodness.
Keep you safe.
And I mean, if he doesn't die there, I don't know when he's going to die. That would have been the shot to take down Ace. They couldn't quite do it. They didn't have enough damage. Ace survives, and now it's sort of, everything continues as normal here in this game too, as it has been for the first 15 minutes. Now it just continues to show NiP falling further and further behind as this Drow just continues to take over even more.
And they just need to really, on the side of 5 men, they just need to really just kind of stick together. Don't go splitting up too much around the sides of the map, because that's where you're going to start getting picked off by this Void Spirit plus Beastmaster Roar and stuff like that. I think if they just always make sure they have like a buddy system going on in this game right now, they're looking real solid to take it. Just the way that their draft works, the way it controls the map versus this Lifestealer Beastmaster, definitely feels like it's going to be a big struggle for NiP this time around to really just flip the game like last time. And immediately they're smoked up. They know something's going on. Saberlight shows. Trouble.
Nice shot. The Maledict and the Deathborn onto Chessie. It's going to be a decent amount of damage. Won't be enough to kill him. He's even going to TP out back to base. So that he doesn't pop.
Actually, just realized that was only a level 6 Witch Doctor. Not exactly. I was like, that ticked a lot less than I thought it would be.
Levels have been a little slow for him this game.
Yeah.
But just, I mean, it's just hard in these fights. Witch Doctor, this is one of those heroes that the Drow just kills in the first second of the multi-shot. Incredibly weak.
Yeah.
To the damage that Ace is going to be throwing out from afar in these team fights.
And you're, I mean, playing versus like Weaver and stuff too, like this elusive hero that gets into the back, and he has Solar Crest and bugs too. So you're all just so weak and fragile right now, and you don't have this great lockdown to deal with these high mobile heroes that can just still apply pressure while Ace just has the free time. And Misery, look, he just knows, all right, Saberlight's going to just push bottom. I'm just going to be the one to power shot, push this out, while other heroes play with that buddy system that we were talking about. You see Ace with Zibe, and then you see Chessie paired up with Pi. So they're doing this perfectly on the side of 5 men right now, not to be able to give up any free kills to the side of NiP. Not looking to make the same mistakes of the first game.
Not at all, at least not so far. 5 men making this game feel incredibly tough for NiP to find an opening. For the most part, Charlie has been keeping to himself, farming away. You know, nowhere near the same pace he's able to achieve as when he has a Magnus. And for the same build, the armlet into the AC, and AC all in front against the Drought. They're going on to check there, popping everything on in the Roar, the Death War. Can they burst him? He's forced out to some Chessie trying to run. The Malefic will finish him though. Chessie for sure will die, but a turnaround's going to come in so they can find something in return for losing their Slardar. They get one. Get anything more here. Ace starting to slow them with the molly shot. Seeing that damage. It's just so much damage right now from this Drought. Ace did step up pretty far though. There's going to be a buyback coming in from Error. Charlie trying to go on to Ace, but he's healed up by the Solar, forced to safety. Ace will live, turns on to Saberlight. The Beastmaster falls. They're just going to struggle massively when it comes to killing this Drought. Even with the buyback coming in from Error, just not able to turn around the fight the way that they would have hoped for. 5 men as well, the way that they back up, looking to pick up all 4 bounty runes to get themselves up towards the top. And of course, they did have both.
Just to play out.
They're landing definitely there. Strongest at their points, 5 men. As I mean, yeah, there's just Charlie, say, it's AC, it's still, you know, it's not necessarily close. He's going to need a bit more time to finish that. How's sort of progress been looking for Supreme? He's got the Yules and nothing else to follow.
Yeah, he's real poor at the moment. I actually can't believe how poor he is. I looked at it. I thought he had a bit more than that. He's actually only level 11 too. Era, who bought back in the last fight and died, is actually higher level than the mid. Level 12 compared to Supreme's level 11.
Yeah, I mean, that's when you know it's been just a rough game. As a Void Spirit, Supreme just not finding those opportunities to make the moves. It's this stage, a lot of tanky, elusive heroes. Yeah. Chessie, Aghanims is just 1,000 gold away. It's going to be a hero that you're just not killing.
Yeah, and Jibbe halfway to Aghanims too. Solar Crest too built up as well. Yeah, they've got just so many tools at their arsenal, and they're just waiting. They don't need to rush anything. They just need to wait for the Roche to spawn, and then they just go for Roche, and it's, you know, it's all forced on NiP. NiP has to try to fight around that Roche, which they do have decent ways to do it with like Hawk with the egg, but there's also so many ways that 5 men has to just take that egg out of the fight.
Yeah, they have got single target NiP, but no real sort of big AoE stun to really complement the egg bearer. It's just not there. You know, you're able to sort of catch a hero in the Remnant or the Roar, but you know, someone's going to get a free pass at just killing that Supernova. That Supernova's going to go down.
Unless they're in the worst position ever for like double cast bounces, right? It's just they don't have to for it. And they're smoking actually up to the high ground for the fight.
So the Death Wall going in onto Pi. There won't be enough damage to kill the Undying, and Mika will subsequently lose his own life.
They're trying something here. They want to try to force a fight before that rush because they know the inevitable is going to happen as soon as it spawns. And it's 5 seconds. Misery just peeps in there to check it out. It doesn't spawn yet. But when it does spawn, it's going to die so fast to this lineup because all their minus armor. And Supreme actually even being bullied here. Shibe playing super aggressive.
Just such a tough game to play for Supreme when he's this far behind. Just having to constantly play a game of running away.
Saberlight.
Towards the top. Sableye will be able to reclaim the outpost. Misery's in with the TP. Sableye looking to turn, but the Shackle's there just in time to stop. Sableye getting the ball onto Ace. The Supernova's out. Ace running to the side. This Supernova is going to clip the two of them. It's going to work. They're going to be able to find Pi. They'll be able to find Ace as well. Pie's back, but Ace is dead. Misha will forward. Chessie and Zibe looking to try and get the cleanup in return. There's the jump ball for the Infest. They burst out Misery. They have killed off 3. Can NiP get more of this? They're looking over towards Chessie and Zibe. It's Charlie. He's focusing down the Slardar. Twilight Dice headed over to try and help, but Chessie, they're taking him out. NiP, they're somehow doing it. They're winning this fight big time. I mean, Zibe's still trying for a cleanup. Does he quite get brought up to the cliff? See what Charlie and Supreme can do here. Zibe looking to finish off Supreme, but he's got another Dissimilate. Will finally fall as Zibe gets the kill with the Shikuchi. It's now just down to him and Charlie. Charlie, he's not going to want to take this fight. Also, the TP out. All things said and done, not horrendous there for an NiP. There's multiple heroes dead on 5 men, including a dieback from Highlight Die. And Sableye, he's just gone and found Zibe. Zibe, the dust came out a little late as Zibe able to move out to the side. I mean, even if so, they had the vision anyway for the summons. They just didn't have the damage. I guess it didn't matter either way. Zibe so elusive with the movement speed. But yeah, fight where NiP there, they've got something to write about that. They get themselves a good amount of kills.
Yeah, good positioning there from them. Ace uses Manta to kind of, get away from the roar for a second, dodge the animation, but then it actually catches him in a weird position where he doesn't have Manta to get off these open wounds, and he gets caught inside of the egg explosion, gets focused down. Decent fight there for NiP, but they can't turn it into anything. And now I look at the, 5 men, they're drafted. They don't need to wait for anything. They're like, oh, egg is on cooldown now, and roar was just used. Well, egg was on cooldown. Roar is on cooldown. They can just go and fight again. They don't need to worry.
Yeah, they're gonna go for the Roshan option. Even though they can take it very quickly. I mean, NiP's got to look for a steal. This is a bit of an opportunity now. If 5 men do try and commit for the Roche rather than for a team fight, maybe there's an opportunity for NiP to sweep him with a dive or jump in with a step and get the Aegis steal. They're going to want to continue to mess with 5 men around us. They don't want to let 5 men get this for free, but it is a risky fight to take. Dive in.
Egg's out.
The egg. Just trying to take it off as the Misery's trying to bring down the egg. Has he got enough hit? No, he hasn't. Misery cannot kill the egg off in time. Misery losing life. Just come in with a 3-man clutch. Silence comes out. Sableye being focused, but he turns. He gets the ball off onto Chessie. Chessie getting burnt down by the Sunray. They've lost the Weaver as well. Radiant doing the kill. Roshan for the Aegis of Cheese. Charlie's able to go in and he picks up both of them. NiP, they get both the Aegis of the Cheese. Ace is dead. I can't believe it. I cannot believe they're doing it again. 5 men. Game 1 looked to be theirs. Game 2 looked to really be theirs. But NiP, they're doing it. They're doing it somehow, Fog. They're absolutely doing it. They're still down 7k. But you look at the way these fights have just played out, and you sort of ask yourself, are we sort of seeing a repeat where, for whatever reason, there's a sort of magical minute in a game where 5 men, they just sort of lose it. They just sort of lose the plot.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Something happened in communication in the fight because Misery committed for the egg. It only has 3 minutes left. They don't have AoE lockdown, right? We talked about it's just the cask really that they have to worry about. I feel like they could have killed that egg.
They absolutely
all unified.
They need one of a hero. It was just Misery on it. Yeah, no one else was.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
And then it sets them up into a weird spot because Heron gets the egg pop and catches on everyone. And then he's in a beautiful position on high ground to get a sunray on everyone.
I mean, he's going to find the Witch Doctor. Look for the Shackle on Supream, but they won't get the latch. Just taking a lot of damage here, but he's got the backup now. The rest of 5 men coming in. A ball from Era onto all of them. Charlie, he's going to focus and finish down the tower. Now going to TP out. The rage. Bash not going to save him. He gets bashed. He's into the zombie.
He's in the zombie.
He's into the zombie.
Where'd he go?
Oh, look at it. Look at it go. He's in the zombie. He's out of the zombie. He's able to turn that with the Ag's time that saved there on the Chessie. Zibe's able to get Chessie out of the action. But some lovely action there of Charlie as he's able to live another day there thanks to the support of the undead.
I love when I see people infest into like the swarm, the Weaver swarm, or you see it into the zombie. Those are my 2 favorites.
I'll be honest,
what the hell happened?
I don't think I've ever seen that before. I've never even seen that. Infesting a zombie. And I bet you there's a lot of people watching at home, they would never even try that. But now you know. I want to see you all infesting zombies tonight.
In the past, like when the infest used to work the other way based on heal, that was the worst. Because you pop on your back, oh my god, I healed nothing. But infest definitely being did.
I mean, so what, are there any other sort of cool things to infest? What's your favorite?
The Beatles
You could
from Weaver,
infest the
yeah.
Beatles. You can infest the Beatles.
Yeah.
Dude, that could be sick. I mean,
That's the one
those
that I've
Beatles,
seen.
they run pretty fast, right? You send the Beatles out, and you jump in, and you're traversing terrain, and they're never going to expect it. That's amazing. I want to see it. That's I mean, and now it's just a 5k difference. You know, every single fight we're seeing. He's ready to go again. See what they can find it, Chessie. I mean, it's a good death war, but again, the axe time, it's always going to be huge. It's going to be a very solid save that Zibbe's ever offer. They get the kill silence. Charlie, Shackle shot as well from Misery, catches on the two of them. They take down Lifestealer at once. Can they do it a second time? Supream turn, with the taunt, they've got the Supernova out. Zibbe, caught in the stump by the paralyzing cards, the bounces as well. Back over to Zibbe, he's back, the Supernova stalls out, Zibbe's dead. Up the high ground, Wall's there straight away, on the way to Sunray, Bailey burning him down. Ace forces down to the low ground, will manage to get out of there. Misery and Chessie still on the run. Chessie's Maledict will ticking down low, not enough to kill him, or maybe it will actually see him back the fountain. Is he going to get enough heals? Back on the map, he finds he's dead. Chessie dies. The damage was too much. The fountain heal didn't offset the amount of damage taken whilst being maledicted. I mean, it's now only 3k fault.
Oh my god.
They've lost this game. It feels early to call it, but with the way that the last 5 minutes have played out, it's hard to sort of see 5 men fix this problem. They've just lost it all yet again for a second time this series, it feels. They've got to really get a hold of themselves.
It's really feeling that. I mean, Charlie's just great. I mean, 5-0-10. He's just, like Q was saying, cool as a cucumber.
Charlie Lifestealer. I mean, and you've got to look back at how the position that this game was in and just really give credit to NiP, the way that they've managed to, just for a second time, crush this pretty sizable lead that 5 men were building up against them. There's a second time in the series, back-to-back, where NiP they've just said, we don't care about your lungs. We don't care about your early game. You're going to make a mistake. We're going to punish it. And then you're going to make more. And we're going to make sure that you lose that entire advantage that you built up. And you really have. You know, the game is dead even across the board net worth. But you just only got to look at how much 5 men have lost for it to get to this position, and just how big Charlie is. I mean, the Charlie lifestyle that really did do it in game 1. This game was a lot harder because he didn't have the power, but he is absolutely doing it again. He's pulling it off in a game that is not easy to do so.
Everyone has finished up almost a item or more on the side of NiP. That's a show. And then you look at like the graph, right? Net worth, like you said, was even. Experience was at almost 12 to 15,000 in lead. For 5 men. No, they almost had a 15,000 experience lead, and it's all the way down to almost 5 for NiP. I mean, win percentage was up above 90% for them. That just shows how massive it was. It still has them as a winning percent game, but somehow NiP with some fights.
Yeah, this has got to be a real tough position for 5 men to be in, because this is the second time they've been in it right. You know, sure, you've had one game, you have a big lead, it all falls away from you, but if that's happening for the second time in a row, you know, it's got to be tough right now. And sort of the chat of 5, they've got to keep their cool, as this is a rough position to be in for a second time back to back.
Charlie's huge too. Fresh BKB, so he's going to be just 20-something seconds of just immunity.
Chessie, kind of gone Supreme. Supreme has got the Shiva's Guard, so a lot of protection. Bug's still out.
From the zone. Tombstone right there. They want to reset.
Good shackle onto Charlie, but is there the follow-up? Save light, in with the wall, straight away looking for the Weaver. Supernova's out as well. Zibbe is going to get the chance. Time that's spin bash. He's going to go down. Doesn't get the chance to the ult. They do manage to take down the egg, but they've lost Zibbe. Ace, he's got to run. Charlie turns over towards Pilot Eye, eats away at him incredibly quickly. Pilot Eye falls over towards Chessie. They go. Chessie pops down the pond. He's trying to escape. The double buybacks coming out from the side of 5 men. And Zibbe trying to get him to be able to help out his team. Chessie will be safe. The axe timeouts from Zibbe coming into play as he keeps his Slardar alive. They'll try and chase towards Supreme. Supreme is running and has been hit by the corrosive haze. They've got the physical damage to take him out. Supreme will fall. Leashes out with the Ghost Scepter TP. No magical to claim his life before he is able to get out. So they are able to at least get back in, get the kill on Supreme. Era did die during the Supernova, but they're having to use buybacks for it. There's 2 buybacks coming out from 5, and they really need to get something more done with this, because if they don't, you just can't help but to feel that even though they brought back and get those kills, it's still them continuing to slip further and further behind.
And they just lost a ton of map control because of that, get these aggressive wards down now for NiP. And like you said, you know, double buybacks. And look where your lane positioning is. Look how they just immediately when they buy back and that the fight ends, they just go straight to side lanes. They know they have to push these lanes out as far as possible because of where they had to take that fight. Not a great position for them there. And they actually can get caught out on the side lanes here if they push too far forward. We see top, they're already setting up for him. Infest on Saberlight. Roar is ready. Jesse. Very dead.
Very dead Slardar. And it really does feel like we've just seen this before. We've saw this all before. You know, once things start to go downhill and pretty severely downhill for 5 men, it just seems that today they're just not a team that's able to really pick themselves back up after losing such an advantage in a game.
Yeah, they're because of the way that the game works too, is like their lineup, it is like this kind of snowball lineup because they have Drow. And if you look, they don't have the craziest team fight heroes on their draft. It's really just that Tombstone, and around the Slardar is just bulkiness. Now that NiP have all this gold and everything, give it to them. You know, Phoenix, level 18, your Witch Doctor only 17, you actually have very strong team fight just from your natural heroes, where they now also start building up some items and levels too. So these straight team fights for 5 men are just infinitely more difficult than they were 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, they couldn't sort of come out on top when they were 10k ahead. You know, what's to say that they're actually going to be able to do so where they're now, you know, they're 1k behind, you know, already reaching towards an 11k gold swing that we've seen in this action. And yeah, I mean, just Charlie, he continues to get bigger and bigger. This Abyssal Blade, just 1,000 gold away. You know, then life does become a real nightmare for Ace on the Drow. And regardless of the start he had, this Drow was so far ahead of anyone else in the game. He's still very farmed Ace, but just hasn't really been able to have the opportunity to pop up in the fights as he was able to do so when they were at such a lead.
Yeah, and they're just on the back foot now. Look, they make a smoke out, but it's an obvious one. Look, there's creeps in your base. They just want to try to get up and set up for some bounty runes here, but NiP knows this is happening. They all back up, they play together. They're going to play on their side, get their own bounty runes, quite safe. Look, yeah, the creeps are in the base. You know that 5 men was trying to make some type of smoke move there.
Bounty.
And now they can move together. They got the book summoned up to clear out some of the vision in the wards. They're going to take out that fresh one that Pylai Dai placed, and now they're going to confirm that all 5 men is up here. So 5 men, they have to back away. They don't want to take a head-on fight anymore. They want to try to catch and get some type of number advantage.
We'll see. In terms of the timings around this Roche as well. When things are really going to kick off once more for both of these sides. I mean, I doubt we're going to see an attempt from 5 men to take it without dealing with NiP first. We saw that be the first real issue from them when the swing round really did start to kick in when they went for the Roshan whilst NiP were up. You know, I guess just feeling that they were strong enough to do so with the lead that they had. But we've seen NiP showing that they're a team not to be written off, even when they are down a lot of gold, still able to come out with some very nice plays in these team fights and getting the work done. You know, Error with the egg, despite there being a lot of ways to, you know, a lot of ranged heroes working against him. Last few times with the Supernova, it really has done it. Just offered that big team fight capability that, as you say, is just not really matched by anything on 5 men.
Yeah, and I've seen actually like so many times in this game now, it's just a Sunray and uninterrupted. Yeah, like a 5 seconds or 4.5 second Sunray just blasting right through 3 heroes, and there's no way the 5 men can actually stop it once they unleash. Like a Wind Ranger Shackle is used, Stun from Slardar is used, Dust is used, and then Era's like, I got free reign. There's no other disables.
Are scanning.
I mean, NiP's thinking about having a bit of a tickle at the Roshan.
Yeah, they pushed their lanes in pretty deep. They had bottom forced in with double catapults. Mid is pushing it too, so they're starting to poke it.
So what they're going to do, Chessie starting to set up with the puddles.
This little bug, look at how strong it is. I mean, Roshan's just trying his damn hardest, but...
has been killed.
Ooh, free curry there on the side. Supreme able to take that out the step. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what'd you do if you're 5 men here? Did you just run in the pit? Well, what's the play? You wait until it's locked.
Oh god, it's so hard. They have to.
When do you go?
They have to be able to catch these back heroes, but right now they're not even looking. I don't think they have a a smoke on them? They don't have a smoke on them, yeah. They just have to kind of watch right now. I'm curious. Maybe they just go for a hopeful steal? They're going to the opposite already.
They're going to try and jump in straight away. Radiant 2 get a kill on Roach. Jesse, was he able to pick up anything? No, Aegis has already been grabbed by Charlie. Jesse, by the looks of it, didn't get either. Was saved by the Aghanim Steinlaps that got him out of there. So at least they get the kill on Roche. There's something taken away, but Ags was picked up one to the cheese.
Cheese, that's what I was looking for. I can't find the cheese. Look. I didn't click the top fight recap thing in time to see if someone like popped it and like or killed it or something.
Yeah, maybe got popped or denied in the sort of chaos of that.
Didn't quite get to save. I just watched 2 pick up the Aghanims and it wasn't Phoenix. Well, Phoenix has it.
And then they get the grab and the silence and the Abyssal. Is it enough? It is. Zibe's out and down for 100. No buyback on him. Jesse's still trying to make a go at it, but he's outnumbered. It's 5 versus 4. Jesse's just going to die for this as well.
He got full controlled by that whole fight.
I mean, it's proving to be just a tough game now for the mid Slardar. You know, when sort of things do start to fall behind. Jesse's trying to get in on the front lines, but when you have this Axe and not quite the BKB, it's still just the kiting and still just the overall damage, you should say, from Eren and Sunray. It's enough to kill even the tankier of Slardars.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to comment a lot about that because of like the snowball factor. It all happened. He went for Axe and then they lost the fight, and now it's like, oh my god, he looks kind of silly because he doesn't have BKB in these last few situations, but it's just because they've lost every fight afterwards because of it, after that rush. And NiP looking to clean things up here. Jesse?
Comes with a buyback. Tackle, not to latch onto Supreme. They're happy to chill in NiP. I mean, they know right now that they've managed to get themselves in a very comfortable position. They're up 14k. We've seen over a swing 20,000 golden XP this match by this side. And as I say, just NiP. I mean, hats off to them for being a team that really did keep it cool despite how far behind they got in both of these games. Top lane, Supreme able to jump away just in time there. The 4 of them trying to go on him, but they didn't have enough damage or control. He's out of there. But yeah, NiP showing us, I mean, this really is to me as well the sign of a solid team, a team that can reliably just turn games around. And NiP, they're showing that they've turned up today with the ability to do that.
Yeah, I'm always concerned when I do see like 2 back-to-back lane devastations like that, but the fact that they can like persevere and actually somehow turn around, especially in this game where it looked way worse.
This game it looks over. It really did.
Yeah, it looked really
did. I think
I don't know. They've done it somehow.
Has fallen.
They really have. 16k lead. I mean, it's going to take something pretty wild for this one to swing around again, it feels like.
Yep.
And as we've seen in this series, it hasn't been 5 men. You know, they haven't been the side to be the ones to pull out the comeback. But NiP, they've been the masters of playing behind.
Yeah, now they're 2 racks down, so it's just that much harder. There's a flicker on Lifestealer too, so you can play around these annoying silences and disables.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite nice. I mean, that dispel, the low cooldown, and the fact that you're always going to have the Abyssal to jump back in after you can be positioned wherever it takes you. It actually works very well.
Actually godly versus Slardar. Literally just can never be corrosive again. You just flicker it immediately. Like, that's actually pretty sick. All right. Flicker one of the best items, of course.
Obviously, the counter would have been if Chessie had 25, but it just hasn't been snowballing. He's at level 21 on this Slardar right now. Yep. That's the way things have fallen out of control.
And now they're just waiting. Yeah, top lane, you see it's pushing in, or pushing out for 5 men right now, but eventually these lanes are all just gotta force it, and I think they're just chilling.
I think and they can do so. They really can. Charlie is just that big, and he's that close as well to his next item. Scardy's getting to the point where he's running out of slots. I mean, maybe that's it. Yeah, the Charlie Lifestealer. You know, it seems to be a carry that. Yeah, we're absolutely seeing why in both of these games, and it's just a real sort of statement as well that Charlie is showing us such a confident performance again in this game too, without the need of the empower. Something that I'm sure a lot of people may have sort of written him off for in game when they were like, okay, they won a few fights. He had empower. Now this game, he's that fast without any sort of boosting mechanism. 25k gold on this Lifestealer. This is some excellent stuff from Charlie.
Yeah, he's definitely owning. Switch the build up. He's going MKB. Now he doesn't have to, he saw the butterfly, I assume. There's also a Wind Ranger, so this is just the ace in the hole, it feels, for NiP. time for them to close this one out, as they do still have... Actually, Aegis is getting reclaimed right now. But I do think they're strong enough even without it.
Now we'll see what players to be made, and Charlie's like, oh, thank goodness that Aegis is gone. I can finally hold all my items. The farm that he has. KB ready to go against the butterfly of the drought.
They're getting the whole map. They're just farming everything, and 5 minutes farming nothing. They can't go outside. They have to just watch these waves get pushed in and then farm them. But yeah, they're not acquiring much of anything. They've actually just been on the same items, everybody, since that big turnaround. Like last 12, 14 minutes or so, it feels like everybody's just been stuck. Ace has gotten the butterfly, and Misery has finished. He had MKB for a while now, but he's gotten like 3,000 gold. But yeah, the other heroes are very deprived. Yeah, they're farming. Look, Misha's like, all right, I'm hitting level 20 in the jungle right now on Witch Doctor. This feels good.
Dire are
Farming it up.
scanning.
In 5 men, you just have to play the waiting game. Can you leave the base? At this point, do you leave the base? Is that the best chance you have? I mean, we've got smokes being picked up by Pi.
You need to get something. Like they have to have a ward outside and try to see when NiP is split, because they cannot do a 5-on-5 fight unless they somehow kill someone instantly and then it turns into a 4v5. There's no way. They have to get a pick off before a fight starts. So I think maybe camping a ward if they want to try something like that. But even then, it's so scary and risky. Yeah, just farming. I got 30 seconds to like bounties. The DD pushing up next item. You know, NiP's just they're cruising.
On the way out, 5 men.
Smoke for the bounty. Try to catch him off guard.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they'll find anything. I mean, only the Witch Doctor was around, but Misha's already out of there.
Radiant's middle tower is under
They'll
attack.
at least able to get 2 bounties in a game where they have their whole map taken away from them. No kill to be found, and they'll have to abruptly make their way back to the bases. They're going to need to prepare for another defense as NiP. They're ready to start looking for that final set of rounds.
Every time NiP sees like the heroes missing off the map and creeps into the base, all 5 connect. They were all split up, and then all 5 of them just conjoined very quickly. Poke on the high ground, side lane's pushing in. They're like, they smoked out. They probably put their 1 ward down here, so they're gonna go probably de-ward that one momentarily.
Just still playing it safe. NiP. Not feeling the need to rush things. Roshan. Is it going to be a longer respawn? It's going to be a bit of a longer respawn. So
Yeah.
Riches.
if they want to be super chill, NiP can wait for that.
Bounty.
Just waiting for the opportunity. Sablelight's constantly just ninja geared right outside the base, looking for some type of jump.
They're closer to big arms and Supream as well. Very close to level 25.
Man, I love Flicker on carries, honestly. Flicker every time. No
I mean, especially with the build, you know, just with Rage and the Flicker and the BKB, it's just so much that Charlie can do to just allow him to get away with that. You know, he didn't have anyone around. He can head up, he can hit the tower. He knows that they just can't kill him. So, you know, in any sort of reasonable amount of time, there's always going to be opportunities for the rest of the team to reach him and offer backup, even if they're on the other side of the map, with how long Charlie can just stay alive with these items. Yeah.
I want Saberlight to buy something though. He's at like 5,000 something gold on it. He's just literally
That's
just
true, yeah,
playing the
just
ninja
buy
gear.
something.
He's just running around.
What's he do? Spend your money. I mean, he's got a solo crest queued up. I'm guessing with this sort of money, he's probably even thinking about buying something bigger. But yeah, he's got money to spend. And he's gonna grab a gem. All right. At least try and spend some of the dollar. And I mean, they've got the couriers out. I think they are just gonna wait here for Roche. Take it slow.
They're
Take
just
it
waiting
easy.
for Roche. Yeah. Pick up the next items.
Yeah.
Close this one out as a 2-0 rather than risking anything. They're about to have like a lot of items finished up too. Almost 25 Void Spirit, Arcane Rune. Like, it's gonna get insane.
and you can't blame them as well. You know, NiP, they have been having a tough time at a lot of their recent performances, tournaments that we've seen. They want to make sure they don't make the mistakes that they've been making before. Now it's down bottom. Charlie will be saved. Supreme jumps in. He's hit the 25, so he's got that stun on. The stimulate. We jump out the side here.
Radiant's
get
middle
themselves
tower
out
is
of
under
there.
attack.
What's he got?
That's a full agonist on Witch Doctor coming out too. Hell yeah, Misha.
Oh yeah. Time to look at it go, ladies and gentlemen. This is the dream when you're playing the old Witch Doctor. Has he got the talents?
He did not. He took the
get
other ones, but it's okay.
Hey, what is sort of the standard for pros? Do they always take the 2 Maledict talents? Or is it pretty 50-50?
Very varied, very varied.
Yeah. Because I mean, just go full on the Maledicts. This game.
No,
like
20 talent
true
is-
support probably should.
Yeah. The 20 talent, the Death Ward attack range isn't great. It's only 100. Like, you'd probably always take them out.
I mean, that's true. 15% is a sizable increase, especially with the way
Really
that
is.
Maledict just works anyway. 15% on that already, and what could become incredible amounts of burst. Yeah, that's a big fun.
Time for Roche. He'll die very quickly. Let's see if they can actually take any time to contest.
They ain't getting here in time. No way. Unless Jesse goes now. Oh, he's gonna go. Is he gonna go? No, he went a little. And he managed to steal.
Refresher charge, just that.
Right. Have they got any great refresher shot heroes? No. Well, they got the tombstone.
Radiant's
Number
middle
2.
tower
Let's
is
go.
under attack.
I need it. Here's the fight. It's going to occur. They're jumping onto Jesse. Supernova down on the high ground. Speed focused actually. Trying to get him down. Taking down the ones. The Supernova is going to be successful as it clips onto pretty much all of them. Zibe hit by the silence from Supreme with that burst and pulse. Zibe goes down. Charlie's with the beacon. He pops the cheese. He's able to close the gap. Get on top of Ace. Ace trying to run. They're healing him up. Pushing back. Charlie, he's still staying on the target. Panic by finish. His best and will do it. Ace goes down. Ace does not have buyback. Chessie will also be chased out. Did buyback for this. Because Chessie's out as well for nearing 2 minutes with Slardar. Comes back in. Dies back. This should be NiP able to clean this one up as they head straight into the base. Already outside of the fountain. Supreme starting to have a poke with them. Measure Empire die. Will look to push them away. Zibe's got buyback. But without their Slardar, without their drought,
middle tower
unlikely they can really put a stop to NiP closing this one up as the second CF4. Little fall. Jackal does latch. The jumps there for the Abyssal Blade straight away onto Zibe. He's forced the sign and attempt to save him, but Zibe will fall. Misery's out as well. They'll all go down on 5 men as NiP. They've done it again. They've done it again, and with that, the series is theirs. They may have lost, I believe, 5 men in recent times in some of the qualifiers.